Hello. The past 2 weeks has been pretty rough, but I am starting to come back to life again. I'm not quite up for editing the renovation project yet, but I thought today I would just share a little life update and like a little story time of what happened to me 2 weeks ago, as well as just briefly share the story from my first TBI, because that's why my channel is the way it is, why my videos are the way they are. So I'm just putting this episode together, and before I continue, I just want to say, please, no medical advice. I don't want it, and any comments with medical advice will be promptly deleted. Generally people, unless they're specifically asking for medical advice, don't want it, and it's the opposite of helpful. And I know people share because they want to be helpful, but it's not, and so don't. Okay, thanks. I would love if Frank would sit up and be in the shot, but I can't make him. He likes to lay down. So anyways, yeah, so 2 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago from when you're seeing this, I'm recording this like a couple days before, I got my period. Normally I have no issues with my period. Normally I have no pain associated with my period. I feel like I've been really lucky all these years to have, pretty much not an issue menstruation, but this one was different. I was in the most agonizing pain I've ever had associated with menstruation, and throughout the day I just got more dizzy and faint and out of it feeling, and it wasn't particularly heavy flow or anything like that. It was just like totally normal otherwise than the pain and my head just being a mess. And so I ended up laying down and sleeping for several hours, and then I woke up in the evening around 7 and was really out of it, but I wanted to make Frank dinner and try to feed myself. So I went inside, and I was having a really hard time like with my head and feeling out of it, and I made Frank dinner. And then while I was making myself dinner, I just kept feeling worse and worse, and I had to like lay on the floor to like try to steady the world. And the best I can describe kind of how I was feeling, like it's like if you let your leg fall asleep and then you try to walk, and it's like all pins and needles and like kind of like weird and detached feeling, and just like feels really strange. It was kind of like that, but like my whole body and just like mind, like my mind was like when a limb gets pins and needles. And I'm pretty stubborn and just wanted to make myself dinner. My mom was at work, my dad was watching TV, and I got off the floor, was continuing to try to make myself dinner, and then I decided to go to the bathroom, and I turned the light on and I walk in, and right away I was like, that was a huge mistake. I should not have done that. And I turned around, and I was just like going back to like reach to turn the light off, and just like everything went bright, and I fainted. And on the way down, I smashed my head on the door frame and then on the floor, and seizured a few times, and like the world was all kind of black, but I was aware of what was going on. And then like after a little bit I could see again, and kind of like started to come to, and called my dad over to help me. And it took quite a while to peel myself off the floor and get sitting, and then he helped me to a couch, and it was pretty bad. It was actually quite a scary situation. I'd never fainted before, and because I have a history of a traumatic brain injury, I've always known that I should really avoid hitting my head. Like generally people should avoid hitting their head, but I was told after the first time that like I should really avoid hitting my head. And so it was a pretty rough night. I had a really hard time like staying awake. I was super out of it. And then the next day, like, I wasn't quite so bad. Like, I wasn't really together, but I was more together than I would be the day after. The day after, I woke up and I had a fever and I was in a lot of pain. Like, my whole body was in so much pain. Every joint was in tons of pain, and I have a lot of joint pain to begin with, especially in my hip from Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and I have some mild scoliosis in my lumbar, so I've actually had pretty excruciating hip pain on and off for about the past 7 or 8 years. And so on this morning, it was just the worst I'd ever experienced in both hips and all my joints and my head. And I had a fever, and I was quite a mess. I couldn't do anything, and I just would cry. And so my mom ended up in the evening deciding I had to go to the hospital. So she took me to the emergency room, and they did all the blood work, and they did a CT scan, which came back okay. So they're just like, okay, well, you have a virus and you have a concussion, so like just go home and rest. And yeah, so then a day or two later, both my parents got sick, so we all had the flu, which really sucked. I'm pretty much over it now, just like a little bit of congestion. So I had the flu on top of having a concussion, and it's just been a really hard couple weeks. It took about 10 days till I stopped being dizzy every time I moved. So I spent like pretty much 10 days bedridden, and every time I would sit up or walk around or be upright for several minutes, I would get really dizzy and have to lay down. And my short-term memory is just horrendous. I've never experienced that kind of just inability to follow a thought or remember anything. And so a lot of screen sensitivity, and I've just been really extremely emotional. So like I would just cry like all the time for like the first week plus. And yeah, just like a lot of all the concussion symptoms, just like really nauseous, really dizzy, irritable, emotional, headache. I would just sleep all the time. Like I was in bed like 23 plus hours a day and sleeping for most of it. So it was pretty rough. And then after about 10 days, so just a couple days ago now, I kind of like woke up in the morning and I was like, oh, like I feel like I just woke up a little bit more than I've woken up any day so far. And so I, first I managed to brush my hair and kind of tidy my van a little, and just started to do some little things, but still really taking it easy. So a couple days ago, I took Frank out of the yard for a walk. Yesterday, I drove for the first time since. And yeah, got caught up on sticker packaging and some emails. So just like very, very slowly getting back to doing some work. And every day just feeling a little bit more like myself, a little bit more alert. Still very easily exhausted, but it's the dizziness is easing. So I still am very careful about sitting and standing up slowly and not moving around too fast, and just being very aware of my surroundings. But I'm not constantly nauseous, and I'm not constantly having a headache, and I think it's been like 2 or 3 days since I've cried. So it's awesome to have signs of improvement, and to feel like I'm getting my life back, getting back to myself, and able to like make myself food and make myself coffee and just do like little things to look after myself. So it was pretty hard to basically be in need of somebody caring for me. So I was really, really lucky that this happened while I was at my parents', and that I was somewhere safe, and that I had help, because it was, even with all that, it was really scary. And so I don't know what I would have done if I was alone somewhere. I mean, I definitely would have like let my parents know what was going on, and yeah, I imagine they would have like come to get me or something, but yeah, it was it was really bad. And Frank's just being so patient and just sleeping with me and just being close to me and looking after me. So it was really nice to have him. And yeah, it's just like really shitty to have like such a bad concussion and then get the flu at the same time, especially like just a couple weeks after finally getting over having shingles for weeks. And right before I had shingles, I had really bad allergies. This extreme climate has caused the plants to freak out, so a lot of people, everyone with allergies has had like horrendous allergies this season, and people who don't normally have allergies have had seasonal allergies. So it's just been a really rough several months. I'm pretty tired of dealing with health stuff, but I am just like really grateful that like this is my job now, and that I'm not like thinking, oh, I have to go get on a ladder and pick fruit, or like the season's slipping away. Like it sucks. Kind of working really hard to like build and grow my channel, and kind of like the way YouTube works, it's like a lot of momentum stuff. So to just kind of stop that and just have it kind of start to dwindle is a little disappointing, but at the same time, like it's always here, and I have lots of filmed content, and so as I feel better, I can just edit and post videos, and if people are interested, they'll still watch. So yeah, and it's just really nice to have all the messages, just all the support, and just like positive energy coming my way. It was really touching and really meant a lot to me. I know some people kind of scoff at all the love and light and prayers and wishes and stuff, but like I fully believe in the power of positive intention and good thought, and wishing people well. And so I do really appreciate it, and I do think that it has an impact and is helpful. And then to have my friend Brian at Off-Grid Backcountry Adventures kind of share that I was going through a rough time and just send so much love my way was really appreciated. So if you haven't checked out his channel, I definitely recommend it. I'll put the link to it in a comment or in the video description, because yeah, I really appreciate his content. It's nice and chill, and him and Sierra have a really nice relationship like me and Frank do. He's one of the few people that I feel like understand the type of relationship I have with Frank, because he has that type of relationship with Sierra. So it has been really nice, and everyone's been so kind and patient with me. So yeah, I really appreciate that. And yeah, I can see I've like just talked for so long, but it, you know, it's a pretty big like life event. And yeah, it was like 21 years ago. I had a skateboard accident, and I got hucked off the board and landed on the concrete with my head, and blacked out, and was seizuring for about 15 minutes before the ambulance arrived. And my lips had turned blue, and I'd actually left my body. I could see my body on the ground, and I had left my body, and I had followed this being away from my body, and we went through these worlds. And then I was instructed to come back, that it wasn't my time, and that I still had like things I had to do here on Earth. And so I was sent back, and so it was a really kind of traumatic experience, like beautiful, but also just really hard to put myself back there. So that's why I'm not going too deep into that story or like what I experienced while I was out of body. But I was told then that like I shouldn't hit my head again. It could be really dangerous, really high risk after having a concussion so bad. And after that, I was never really the same. I used to love to go to shopping malls and kind of like fairs and like big public busy places with lots going on. And I used to love hanging out in the city and going downtown in Vancouver and taking the SkyTrain and yeah, just like doing a lot of like really busy people, kind of chaotic environments. And after hitting my head, I could not stand that at school. I would hide in classrooms or bathrooms during class transition, and then I would always just be late for class so that I could travel from one class to another when the hallways weren't busy. And I skipped school a lot. I skipped school as much as I possibly could get away with while still graduating and getting good enough grades to go to university. And yeah, I just really distanced myself from people and have continued to do that over the years. So that's why I spend so much time seeking out quiet places in nature, and I really like to be able to hear my own thoughts, which I can't really do over the noise of the world. So I like to be in a quiet environment. And I also don't like to be in situations where there's multiple people talking. Like, one of the hardest situations for me is to be in conversation with two people at the same time, where two people are trying to talk to me and like I just can't. And like so many people do it. It's like, it seems like it's something that normal that people participate in, but like I literally can't. Like, I'll just walk away from both people, and I can just follow one person talking at a time. I just think it's also really rude that to put that on someone, like to kind of make someone choose who they're gonna listen to. And so yeah, that's also why I don't put music in my videos. Especially like I watch channels sometimes and the person's talking and they've put music on in the background, and it's like, well, I'm listening to you talk. If you think that what you're saying is so uninteresting, you have to also put music on. Why are you making a video? Um, so yeah, I like the sounds of nature. I like living a quiet life. And so in my videos, that's what I want to share, is the quiet I seek out and the sounds of nature I choose to focus on. And I just don't think I need to clutter that up with like extra music, especially while I'm talking. And it's just like a lot for me to kind of manage editing. So I try to keep it lower stimulation, and it's easier on my brain. I get overstimulated really easily. Yeah, so that's why my channel is the way it is. It's because of a past head injury, and that's why this time when I fell down, bonked my head, it was just so bad. And so yeah, just starting to feel like myself again. And yeah, well, this isn't a normal video, so this would have been like, I've missed like 4 normal video postings, and I had, kind of content lined up for 2 videos a week, but it's going to be a while till I'm able to do that. So I will have a video next Sunday, due to contractually obliged sponsor posting, which I'm really grateful for. The extra income is super helpful. So yeah, it's not going to be a renovation video, because that's just like a lot of editing. And I had this video probably over halfway edited before I bonked my head. So I'm going to finish that up, and it's about foraging, learning to forage. So I'll share that next Sunday. And then after that, I think it'll still just be Sunday videos until I'm feeling really good and a lot better, and I'm kind of operating my life normally before I go back to 2 videos a week. If I do, when I do, I don't know. But yeah, so next Sunday, a foraging video. And I have an announcement. I have an addition to the channel I'm very excited to share. It's, yeah, been kind of disappointing not to share because of just the delay with everything. So I'll share that next Sunday, and then moving on after that, we'll get back to the renovation project. I obviously haven't done any work on my van since I bonked my head. I really haven't done anything. I've just been resting and healing. My phone got full there, so I had to just make some space so I could just, yeah, say goodbye. Got a little Frankie up. He's been napping. So yeah, we've just had so much rain here for weeks, which has really helped with the healing. I can't imagine how much harder it would have been if it was really super hot out. So it's been a very mild spring for around here, which is tiring, but it's better for healing. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, and that's what I've been going through. And yeah, just like you know, just like a note for anyone out there, like menstruation's pretty serious issue, and it happens every month, and everyone has a different experience with it. Every month can be different, so yeah, just like I don't know, if people are having a hard time, just like take them seriously. Like yeah, it's I don't think some people realize like what women go through and what it can lead to. So I didn't realize that it could result in me fainting and having a horrible concussion, but that's what happened. So yeah, anyways, just thank you so much for all your patience and well wishes and just love and support. And yeah, I don't know, it's not the most fun video, but yeah, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already. I'm really excited about the video I'm going to share next week, and then I'll get back on the renovation project. So yeah, we'll see you soon. Bye. Bye.